And here we are at the property. I'm getting set up for a long day. I got a lot of projects I want to take care of, so I'll give you a little view of that, and then we'll see what I accomplished by the end. So, the peas are over. Need to collect the seed heads from this onion. I'm going to try to save them, see what happens. I make no guarantees. But it's worth doing because then I'm going to turn this bed over, get it ready. I'm going to turn this other bed over here, get the rest of the weeds out that I can, get that bed ready. The lawn obviously needs a good mow. It's a little damp right now, so I have to do that afterwards. And then I have those beds over there. I'm going to go dig up some more logs and start moving product that I have into them. If I can accomplish all of that, I'll feel pretty good with the lawn mowing and mulching and all that fun stuff. So we will see how it goes. All right, we're back. Let's see what I accomplished. I'll do a little tour here. Try to do these kind of in the middle of the month, I think. We'll see how that goes. So the lilies have basically finished. We have a little bit of flower action holding on yet, but they're past their prime. Let them store all their goodness up for next year. But just as those are finishing, we're gonna get the hibiscus bloom. So, first flower has officially opened in all of its glory, and the second one is right behind it. It always looks really nice here when that happens. So I did get a bunch of stuff moved here, using this as storage, but I did get the cardboard and a bunch of logs down. It's kind of like a hugelkultur inspired raised bed. This one has all the logs, and now I'm filling it with debris. And get that stomped down, and then start putting in some compost and or soil of some kind. Kiwis are still doing nothing. The cannas have pushed through. We'll see if they amount to anything, but a little bit of fun foliage showing up. Gladiolas are up here. This bed is actually doing really well. Some celeriac. It's starting to get a little size to it. Got some eggplant here I'm gonna have to harvest. Squash bed. Oh, and then let me get out of the shot. This bed got tilled. I have newspaper down, and I have take the grass clippings and put them on top of the newspaper. I'm hoping to get some brassicas, cauliflower, broccoli, fall stuff in here the next week or so. I have it growing in the basement. Squash patch is starting to get some weed action showing up through the squash leaves, but there's not much I can do about that. It's just inevitable. We do have quite a few squash, and then there's a gopher that is apparently living in here, so that's awesome. So you can see some spaghetti squash. There's a Moscou de Provence, I think. It's a French heirloom pumpkin I grow it every year. Here, there's one right there. That is a North Georgia candy roaster. There's another North Georgia candy roaster. I'm not sure if you can even see it. There you go. If you look in here, you can see some, I think they're Thelma Sanders sweet potato squash. They're kind of like acorn shaped. I don't know if I can get a good angle as I'm walking around. Bunch of spaghetti squash in here. There's a butternut squash right here. And, perched precariously, you have another butternut squash kind of on top of some other ones. There's one of those sweet potato squash. Overall, it's looking pretty good. Got tomatoes here coming along. They're actually growing pretty well. My stand of milkweed. The sunflowers are very tall. So this archway is tall enough that I can walk through it with room. So I would put it at, 6'2", 6'3". And they are sticking a foot above that. So they are over 7 feet tall now. They have not flowered yet. These ones are in bloom and holding on pretty good. Got some eggplant. Doing okay. The squash are starting to get along. I'm getting excited because I'm starting to see beans forming on my runner beans. I've been watching a pair of hummingbirds over here all day long, getting their snacks. Grapes, doing okay. I gotta do some trimming here. We'll see how it comes along. Japanese beetles have, speaking of the devils, there they are. I've done some work on the grape. Drew some artichokes, still not sure what I'm doing with this bed. Walk underneath my little sunflower archway here. I'm gonna trim this. That's the raspberries. Here, still got the carrots, gladiolas. I found some random tubers that look kind of like lily-ish in with some debris, and they were alive, so I've hucked them in the ground. We'll see what happens. Squash there. Peppers. Actually got a couple peppers. I got to eat a couple ground cherries today, and that was super exciting. See more forming here. This attempting to make a cantaloupe, I think. I don't know if it's going to amount to anything. The dragon tongue bush beans or rattlesnake pole beans are going good. Quite a few clusters. When I come out tomorrow and do harvesting, I just am out of gas today from all the stuff and things. Got a couple more eggplants, watermelons. This little melon isn't doing much. I don't know if it's getting too much shade, but 1, 2, 3 watermelons. Kale is looking good. It's growing up nice and green. Corn, there's actually some ears in there, so I'll see if I get something. I'll be surprised. The garlic has to get harvested here to see if I have anything. Flower bed. Gladiolas are still poking up there. So with the peas, they're done. I'm just letting them dry out for seed. The green beans are beaning. Well, I should really show you the runner beans, because not a lot of people have seen runner beans. Sorry for the wonky camera work. This is my phone and I'm terrible. Here we go. That is a runner bean. I got more here. And here's my hand for scale. Make nice big meaty beans. I don't really eat them for the pods. I save the beans and eat them in chilies and stews and stuff. Alright. So tomatoes are looking pretty good. Starting to get more ripening ones. You've already had a few here. Waiting for the first big ones at the house to ripen up. That'll be in the next few days, hopefully. Pepper's looking okay. Everything needs water again. Got some ripe cayennes. And those are check blacks right there. Dry beans are the Kearney yellow eye are done. That's what the pods look like. They're just going to dry now on the plant until I come along and harvest them and then pot them. 2 beds of those. I finished harvesting the dragon tongue bush beans because there's so many of them. As you can see, lots and lots of bush beans still in here. I mean, look at the size of this. So I just let it go for dry beans. Cucumbers are doing okay. Made a few batch of pickles already. See. Some cucumber action. Now this bed I turned over with the tiller. Also put down paper and then mulched it. Currants are done. So the kale bed, I'm gonna thin it out here the next week or so down to probably like 8 or so plants. Give them room. Probably give them a little bit of fertilizer and see if that'll help them bulk up. Onions are starting to flop over. They're not very big. It's just, you know, I don't get a chance to water them enough when we're super dry, so they just can't bulk up. More cucumbers here. Not a great harvest, but we're getting a harvest out of them, which is the important thing. Got more here. Let's see, there's like just enough to do stuff with, which is exciting. Red onions, same thing, they're flopping over. These other bush beans are actually starting to look a little better. They're flowering, starting to get some pods on them. So that's exciting. But just to show you how dry, I mean, the ground is cracking. That's just how dry it's been. More here. Asparagus bed is still in need of work. And that might be a plum, although it is very small. I noticed there's a few clusters. I'm gonna see if any of them are ready to be taken home today. Which by taken home, I mean taken home, rinsed off so I can eat them. Oh, there's my shadow. Hi. Tomatoes here are doing good. I have to trim, tie them into the structure because they're leaning, kind of getting wherever they want to. But yeah, I'm making tomatoes. The Florida Everglades right there. Those are so strong tomato tasting for their size. And the plant gets a little crazy. But I like to grow them. Got some right here. These are Livingston grape tomatoes. First year for those. I mean, they're okay. I wouldn't say they're great. They're pretty prolific. See, that truss is pretty well loaded. And so I feel like I got my projects done. I didn't empty out any of the compost bins, but right here was 4 piles of stuff that had been left here from the house last fall that I was going to use in those beds, and I've managed to move them over there, so that's good. Still got some fence repair on my my radar, but overall, garden is not looking bad. If we just get rain a little more often, I would be even more happy. All right, well, have a wonderful day. I'm gonna go home and get some grub.